This is the Darren Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
Hey, y'all, what's good? Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Darren Harris, and this is the Darren Harris Podcast, y'all. How you feeling this week? Hopefully, you are doing good. Check it out, y'all. I've been seeing a lot of this in the past couple of weeks since we've had the Cyrus Cormac Belton verdict read. And I've been seeing a lot of us, black folks, black people, saying that that they are boycotting Asian businesses. Now, I don't think it's every Asian business. I think what they mean is predatory Asian business, like the beauty supply shops and the nail salons and some of the restaurants, because, you know, it's no secret, man. These people, they were given money to set up shops in our neighborhoods because white people didn't want them to set up shops in their neighborhoods, but also white people wouldn't give us the loans to open business in our own neighborhoods. They gave them to Asian people and Arabs and other people who own these businesses in our neighborhoods. And historically, that's the way it went. So you got a large influx of these businesses that opened in our neighborhoods. And what these businesses, they are called predatory businesses for this reason. They come into the neighborhood. We go into the stores and we spend our money in these stores. And after we spend our money in these stores, they immediately take that money out of our communities and they put them into their communities, which they have integrated into another part of society. They do have their own neighborhoods, but they integrate well into white society. They have been called the model minority, et cetera, et cetera. And it is just, you know, it goes to show you that a lot of the businesses or the businesses that they have set up, they are not healthy for our community. So in turn, behind the Rick Chow case, which he has a store that is frequented by black people, and now black people are, because of the verdict, black people have decided that, yo, you're just not going to do us like this. So, and we're going to boycott. So that's what I'll be talking about today on the podcast. But I'm going to take a quick, fast break, and when I come back, we're going to jump into it.
This is the Darren Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
Hey, y'all. So there's been a lot of anti-black sentiment in the Asian community. You know, actually the Asian community, the Latin community. I'm not going to group Puerto Ricans in with the Latin community, though. I just don't. I mean, I grew up in New York City, and I know for myself personally, and from firsthand experience, that black folks and Puerto Rican folks in New York City, we vibe. We always been vibing. You know what I mean? We vibing. And over this past weekend, the past weekend, I went to the Puerto Rican celebration in Humboldt Park in Chicago. And once again, man, as I was walking down the street, you know, Humboldt Park is a historic Puerto Rican neighborhood in Chicago, and as I'm walking down the street, man, I see, of course, I see Puerto Rican people, but you know what else I see? I see a gang of black people. Black folks, Puerto Rican folks. I see little cliques of people, like young people, like little cliques of young people. Like maybe, you know, 2 Puerto Rican dudes and 3 black dudes, or like 3 Puerto Rican chicks and 2 black chicks. You know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? Same thing. Just a good mix between the two. I mean, between black folks and Puerto Rican folks. So, like I said, I'm not going to group Puerto Ricans in with the large anti-black sentiment. Now, I do know that there are some that have this sentiment, but from my experience, you know, I'm going to speak from my experience. I don't have that problem. You know, I don't have that issue. My wife is Puerto Rican. I mean, we got 2 Puerto Rican children. I mean, my brother's best friend, Michael Rodriguez, he grew up behind us. You know what I mean? It just, you know, I mean, my clique when I was growing up, it was 4 black dudes and 4 Spanish dudes. I mean, that's just the way we grew up. It was not just the dudes. I mean, my 8th grade girlfriend was Puerto Rican. I mean, so like I said, I don't group Puerto Ricans into that. You know what I mean? I group them in with us. I include them with us because they too have been, oppressed. Not to the extent that black people have, but pretty fucking close. I mean, they get shit on a lot. You know what I mean? So we have a symbiotic relationship between the two groups, and I recognize that, they recognize that. I did a post on social media where a bunch of new people was trying to say that Puerto Ricans didn't have nothing to do with hip hop. I'm from New York City. They need to shut the fuck up about that because it's just simply not true. You know what I mean? So I don't do that with Puerto Rican people, but Asians are a different story. Now, historically, black folks, we always been kind of, fond of Asian culture. I mean, real talk, especially in New York. I mean, I grew up going with my Puerto Rican friends and my black friends. We grew up going to the movie theaters where we used to you could catch the double feature. And the first movie was a kung fu movie, and the second movie would be like a regular feature film. Now this was what they did back in the day in New York, in the hood, to like the whole Northeast was like this. New York, New Jersey, parts of Pennsylvania. We all grew up on Channel 5 Black Belt Theater. That's what we did. That's what we did every Sunday. We all went to, we either went to the movies and watched the double feature, or we all sat at either my house or Michael's house, my friend Michael's house, or one of my other friends' house, and we sat there and watched Channel 5 Black Belt Theater. And that's what we did. And we go outside. Me and my man Virgil actually went and learned some martial arts behind watching Channel 5 Black Belt Theater. You know what I mean? A lot of us was tumblers. We did flips in the hood, and shit like that. So, we would incorporate, kung fu moves and all kind of stuff, because we admired, that culture. We really did. We had a strong affinity for that culture. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those things. And we would go to the Chinese restaurants and get Chinese food and everything. I was young. Okay. We was young doing this. And we would go to the Chinese restaurant, and it was cool. Everything seemed to be cool, just being young, going in the Chinese stores, getting my fried rice and egg rolls, and going home and watching Channel 5 Black Belt Theater, and then going out in the fucking in the streets with my homies, and then doing kung fu moves, So we never really was on some that kind of hate for Asian people. As a matter of fact, the black people, especially black people in New York, we love Chinese food. We love it. We absolutely love it. We have the best Chinese food in the country, in my opinion. San Francisco might beg to differ, but, I think we might have them edged out just a little bit. Chicago might have a little bit something to say, but Chicago, they don't even use duck sauce. They use sweet and sour sauce, which is cool. But it's not duck sauce. So, in New York, especially where I'm from, we never had those issues. As a matter of fact, there was one time, this was about 20 years ago. I'm in Bedford-Stuyvesant, and right around the corner from me is, Chinese restaurant in the hood. And, they got the bulletproof glass and all kind of shit. Just like, most of the Chinese restaurants in the hood, today have, the bulletproof glass. You got to go talk to the motherfucker through a glass. So I go in the store and I order some food, and I'm sitting there waiting on the food. So this girl walks in, she kind of hood, and she walk in immediately, just mad disrespectful, just out of nowhere, mad disrespectful, like super disrespectful. Started cussing the lady out behind the counter, telling her hurry the fuck up with my fucking food, all kind of shit like that. You know what I mean? Just nasty shit. So I said to the Chinese lady behind the counter, I said, don't make her shit. And she said, what? I said, don't make her anything. And the girl said, for what? I said, look at how you talking to this lady. You know what I'm saying? She trying to, they are here trying to feed us. You know what I'm saying? They are here trying to feed us, and you come in here, without any merit, any reason, and you just come in here and you just start acting wild to these people, man. For real. Stop it. She ain't never done nothing to you but try to feed you. You know what I'm saying? And then the girl was like, so are you going to help me? Fuck no, I'm not going to fucking help you. What you need to do is help your fucking self. You help yourself understand what it means to be a respectful human. A respectful person. Not a respectful black person, but a respectful person. to begin with, because I am a respectful person. All right, I try and be respectful to everybody that I meet. It doesn't matter what race they are. I try and be respectful. This person was not respectful, so I stepped up and I checked her. And after that, every day I went in a Chinese restaurant. Every time I went to get Chinese food, they gave me something free. I would order my food, and either they would give me my food free, and I would try to pay for it. They'd be like, no, or or I'd pay for the food, and they'd throw me extra egg rolls, or give me a large fried rice instead of a small. They always try to do something nice for me. They really did. They really tried to do something nice for me, and I was really appreciative of that, because they were appreciative that I decided I was going, to stand up for them as well. You know what I mean? And that's just who I am as a person. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what race you are. I'm going to stand up against people treating other people wrong. Simple as that. Now, since that time, a lot of time has passed. There has been, and especially in recent years, and I did a podcast on it last week, this whole anti-blackness push is like, you got to be fucking kidding me, man. Really? It's like our government is pushing it. You got, content creators pushing it. Now you start seeing other people, just regular people pushing it. Just random regular people pushing that shit. Last week in Chicago, there was a motherfucker who burned a cross in the fucking park, went to Grant Park, set up a cross, and burnt that shit. Now, they caught the motherfucker this week. And you'll never guess. I know what you're thinking, too. Oh, it must have been a bunch of fucking white dudes. No, it was a fucking Asian guy. It was an Asian person in the park burning crosses. A cross. Not crosses, plural. One, burn a cross. But they caught him. Charged with hate crime, felony hate crime. And there the fuck you go. But that right there should tell you something. That right there should alarm a lot of people. That sentiment, especially in that community, is growing, and it's being shown. They're starting to show their true colors in the nail salons, in the restaurants. Everybody is starting to act super hostile towards black people. Just as hostile as fuck always. They don't want to serve us. Just all kinds of anti-black sentiment. And it's gotten stronger. So we had this case, right? This Cyrus Cormac Belton case, in which Rick Chow, that everybody just is flabberfucking-gasted, including me, how this guy even got off for shooting a fucking 14-year-old in the fucking back, you fucking coward. But he got off, and black people have collectively decided, hey, you know what? Maybe we should stop going in their businesses. This is how they treat us. This is the message that we get. This is what's going on in our country today. Maybe we should just lean back and pour into ourselves and support black-owned business. And let me tell you, motherfuckers, everybody came out of everywhere. All these Asian creators, not just, and I've seen a couple of white folks and a couple of Asian, Latin folks mention what black people have decided to do in their social media posts. There's been a bunch of this shit where there's one guy, he's gone super viral for saying, oh yeah, you boycott our businesses, so whatever. It's just a little guy with a little, ball cap on. And then there's another Asian lady, you know what, you need to raise your kids better, and so on. All of these people with this whole, like they're reprimanding or chastising black people, for really, honestly, for really doing what we should have been doing in the first place, which is pulling back and pouring into ourselves. And they're not acknowledging the fact that this young man was unalived and that how horrific this. No, they're emphasizing the fact that if we had taught our kids better. Now, Cyrus didn't steal anything. As a matter of fact, he was wrongfully accused, and the sheriff's department actually confirmed that. So, the woman, what they're spewing, what they're doing is they are regurgitating shit that they have heard throughout their years. throughout their years here, dealing with us, dealing with the propaganda, dealing with white America, and the disdain that white America has for black America, et cetera, et cetera. And they align themselves more with white America, even though their businesses are in our neighborhoods. So they align themselves more with white America. And that's why they are closing in on the distinction of, which I think is laughable, of the model minority, which is fucking stupid. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. They're basically trying to suck up to people that hate you too. That's the dumbest shit in the fucking world. Excuse me. But they are proud of that status now. They're proud to stand there. So, with that status comes, their I guess their ability to say anything that they want to black people and get the look over their shoulder and get the nod from white people. Yes, that's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. Now you go out there and then you throw the most harsh slurs that you can throw at them, and we will protect you. And that's essentially what happened with this Cyrus Cormac Belton case. But people want to make it like we are, these violent people, these inherently violent people. Even the Carmelo Anthony case down in Texas, that case is fucked up too. And they try and make it seem like we are these derelicts, but in fact Carmelo Anthony was a great student. He was on his way to becoming a positive influence in the black community, and they derailed all that. They stripped everything away from him because he defended himself. Now, they don't want to call it that, okay? They don't want to say that he defended himself. They want justice for that white family is what they want. They want justice for that white family losing their son, when actually it's Carmelo who deserved justice because he was being harassed and almost about to be attacked by some people who were I'm just going to call it like I see it. Racists. Young, racist white boys that are entitled. And now they're even more entitled because our government has officially shown us with these two cases that we can't defend ourselves, for one, and that there is no consequences for unaliving or killing one of us. There's no consequence. That is exactly what the court systems have, in both these cases, have just showed us. No justice for black people, period. I'm going to take a quick, fast break, and when I come back, we're going to continue to talk about it. This is Darren Harris Podcast. I'll be right back.
This is the Darren Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
All right, so now Asian people is mad. They mad. These motherfuckers is mad. They mad. And some other people are happy. Some other people are happy because they like to see the division. They cheer it on secretly, quietly though. They let this play out the way that it's been set up to play out. And they just sit back and watch it take organically. So Asian people mad. They're upset. They're angry that we don't want to do business with them. But I think a lot of them, and I have seen some creators that get it right, that have got it right. And it's not that we want to boycott Asian businesses. All Asian businesses, we don't like Asian people. It's not that. It is not that at all. It is the Asian people that are in our neighborhoods, that are in our spaces, that are disrespectful. They're mean. They're rude. They think that they are better than we are, yet they still come into our neighborhoods and earn their living. They still come right into our neighborhoods and put up the beauty supply shop because they study us, right? They study who we are, what we like, the things that excite us. Think about this. How many of you go out and eat these crab places. Juicy Crab, or one of these crab places, Juicy Seafood, whatever it is. How many of you like to go out and enjoy those things? I've said this on several podcasts. I'm not going to say the name, but I used to work for one of these companies, probably one of the biggest ones. And I was the director of operations. I wrote the policy and procedure manual. I hired staff, everything. I trained staff. I did a lot there. And the business model was this. And I realized that I was actually part of their business model. And it upset me. I was part of a business model that was created to extract our money from our neighborhoods, from our black dollars. And when it came together and the restaurant opened, I saw it for my fucking self. I saw it for myself. And and they figured out how to make me a part of it. Now, let me tell you about it. I got the job and it was great. I was like, all right, they would, pay me a decent salary to come in there. But the business model was to open these things in black neighborhoods. And the reason why is because they know that we love this kind of food. They've researched this. They have studied this. They have learned this. They have assimilated this. And then they developed a recipe. They developed a recipe with a sauce to cover this seafood with. And it's delicious, right? You guys love it. We love it. Look at us. Look. You love it. You suck it down every opportunity you get. Buttery sauce, seasonings, Cajun-y. Wonderful, right? It's not even fucking butter. It's oil. It's oil, and it's killing you. And it really is. It really is. Okay, I just want to let you know. As much time, but I know it's bad, but I know it's so good. Yes, it is good, and it's fucking killing you, putting you in the grave early. And they know it. Everybody knows it. You know how I know they know it? Because they don't eat it themselves. They don't eat it themselves. And we slop it up, and they sit back and they watch us. Yes, black people, eat. Eat, black people. Eat. Grow sick. And give us your money. Eat. Enjoy it. It's delicious, ain't it? Give us your money. And that's exactly what's happening. You know what I mean? And when I started realizing this is what made me realize this. I went to work and had been working for a while, and I just started noticing there's not a lot of white people in here. There's some white people that come through. Every now and then you get, a handful of white people, some white people, but it's majority black people. It's all of us. It's all of us. It's all of us. And I went and opened a couple of more of these restaurants for them in different places. And every place that we opened, it was always close to where, and I told the people who, I said, listen, you don't have to open these. I said, you got it. For some reason, the people like the food. The only thing I ever ate there was chicken wings. I never ate the seafood. I only ate chicken wings, and that was questionable. They had good flavor. So I ate the chicken wings. But I told them, I said, you don't have to, open these in just black neighborhoods. And I started feeling a specific type of way about it. And then I realized why I was there, why they hired me. Then it clicked like a light bulb. One day, one of the people that was there, one of the Chinese people that were there, they were having an altercation with a loud black person. And they could not deal with that. They couldn't deal with it. They just couldn't deal with it. And I had to step in. Hey, what's happening here? And kind of smooth over the situation. Oh, yeah, fine. And then after that, that's what it was. They needed me in order to bridge that communication gap between their product and unhappy customers. So they needed me. They didn't need anybody, not a white guy. They needed me. Why? Because a white guy is not even going to be able to really satisfy. No, they needed somebody who looked like their customers, who looked like the people that they were targeting, so that they could talk to these people. See, it was crafty as fuck, man. I mean, super crafty. Got to give it to him on the craft factor, because the shit was crafty. So after a while of realizing that they were targeting black people with juicy seafood, once I realized that, I started feeling, excuse me, cheap. And I also started feeling like fucking a Sambo. And I started feeling like somebody who was secretly hurting my own people. So I became a motherfucking vigilante at that bitch. I just decided, listen, I'm gonna push back against anything that seems overly racist or racial in nature. I pushed and pushed and pushed until they did finally open other locations in more diverse and mainstream neighborhoods, in places, places where there were malls and shopping centers that everybody went to, not just in black neighborhoods. And I pushed for that, and so, they're still, and they're still open today. And like I said, I will not say the name of this place. I'm not going to say the name of the place, but they're still open. But they did change that they were gonna open places in more mainstream places. But they had a lot of discriminatory practices while even working there. Like they were from China, and what they did is they sponsored other Chinese and other Chinese servers and people who cooked in the kitchen. But these people had to work. These people were essentially slaves. They worked, and only they worked every day. But all of the Chinese servers, they got the best shifts. They got the best sections every single day. Every day. They got the best shifts and the best sections, and I had to work these people no matter what. That was what I was told by the people who owned the place. And this is the way that it was, and there was nothing, and if I didn't like it, I could leave. And I just, it got to the point where I realized that, it too, as good as it is, was a predatory business. And they got rich fast. I mean, quick, fast, and in a motherfucking hurry. Why? Because we love that shit. For some reason, I don't. I never have. You know what I'm saying? I've been asked to do things. They had a string of other restaurants. Their parents owned a string of other Asian-based restaurants, and I don't know what practices they had over there, but some of the practices that they had at this restaurant were not acceptable. Now, with that being said, we had some Christmas parties. There was a Christmas party, and of course I went to the Christmas party. I believe that they liked me. I believe a lot that they liked me, and at the Christmas party they showed that they liked me. The grandfather, he loved me. He didn't speak a lot of English. I didn't speak any Chinese, but we communicated. He loved me. But it was the children, and it was something that was, I guess, brought to them when their people got here. Was this whole black people are dollar bills. That's what we are to everyone. We are dollar bills. We spend and consume. And that's exactly how they treated us. And I believe I was really kind of the first black person that family really interacted with outside of the realm of customer, business owner of that dynamic. And I think I changed a lot of things for them, the way that they looked at black people, the way that they saw, because before that, they didn't really see us as intelligent. Before I was hired, I don't think they really saw, especially in that family, because it was a family, it was a family of people, and some other, I don't really think they saw us as these intelligent people. I think they just saw us as what they've always been shown that we were by this society. And I sat with that for a while, and I man, it made me feel good that I was able to get through to these people in some issues and not in others. And I, to this day, I don't have any hard feelings towards them. There's no bad blood between us. I'll never go in their restaurants because I just don't eat the food. You know what I'm saying? But I don't hate these people, and I'm sure that they don't hate me either. If we were to see each other in the street someplace, I'm sure it would be like, oh, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? But they do understand and they know. And I think that I kind of facilitated that. They know that, although we thought about black people in this particular way, this one black person, I believe, changed our perspectives to a degree about black people. And I could kind of tell that. I know most definitely with the grandfather. The grandfather definitely, I could tell that he was just like, wow, this person is different than I've been told. You know what I mean? And I was almost said his name. And the other guy, the younger guy, the guy that actually owns the restaurant, he and his wife, I think they kind of and the manager and their one of their managers, I think they all kind of expected me to be something that they were told, like this creature, and I turned out to be something completely different. And I don't know where I'm going with that, but I just wanted to say that I don't really think that, I think that a lot of their behavior, some of their behavior is learned, and it is internalized, and some of it is not. Some of it obviously is not. It is their perception, that they have been given a perspective that they have been given that makes them, I guess, standoffish towards us in the first place. Now, in certain situations, yeah, we kind of contribute to that, because like I said, the lady in the Chinese food restaurant, she was in there just ripping up this lady for nothing. She was just in there, shitting on her, for nothing, just in there. And the lady was trying to just make her some food, but she was just in there, I had to find it. Hey, don't make her shit. Because I'm just tired of you disrespecting this person for nothing. And this person, every time I live on the back block of this restaurant, behind this restaurant, on the block behind this restaurant. And I walk around the block to go to this Chinese food restaurant when I want Chinese. They know my face. I'm familiar. I smile. Every time I walk in, they wave at me. I wave at them. A lot of Chinese restaurants, I've been to some Chinese restaurants where these motherfuckers don't even fucking acknowledge the fact that you said hi and nothing. They just want to know your fucking food order and get the fuck out my face. Get the fuck out my store. Period. And I think that's where we are as black people. We are just like, you know what, man? I'm tired of that. I'm tired of you being in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? I'm tired of you being part of what I have to deal with every day. You know what I mean? I'm tired of that. I'm tired of walking in this beauty salon and you motherfuckers don't care about me. All you do is sit there and watch me. You don't talk to me. You talk to each other in Chinese or whatever language you speak in behind my fucking back. And all you're doing is just looking in my face, disrespecting me in my fucking face. And I think we're tired of that. I think we're tired of sitting in the nail salons and getting our nails done while you just mad disrespectful. I'm not, and that's not to say all of you. I'm not saying it's all of you. But I do know that it is some of you. I do know that it is definitely some of you. And I do want to say this too. Shout out to all, and I'm kind of mad about this though. I'm starting to see, things pop up on social media. Oh, such and such black-owned beauty supply store at such and such and such and such. And then 10, 15,000, 43,000 likes behind it. You know what I'm saying? Then I go in the comments. Oh, girl, this is so good. Da-da-da. It's a bunch of black people. Where the fuck was this energy before? Where in the fuck was this whole energy before? Because we have, and I'm just going to lean it on you, black people. Sometimes we have a tendency to shit on our own to give other people some burn. You know what I'm saying? And I've said this before. Motherfuckers would rather go buy a Gucci bag than buy a motherfucking Keisha bag. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers would rather go and buy, a Louis Vuitton dress than go in here over here and fucking with Gigi for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But I think we have to. I think we are, but I know that we have to get back to that. Get back to, girl, let me see what you got. Let me see what you, and really being into it, really giving ourselves a chance. And at the same time, we need to put our best, we need to stick our whole foot in every product that we make. Everything that we make has to be completely and totally undeniable to everybody, not just us, but to everybody. But it most definitely should be for us. Put our best foot forward. I did a podcast where my buddy was mad about black people living prominently close to each other in a black neighborhood, an all black neighborhood. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily segregated, but just a known all black neighborhood. He was mad about it. But then you have this guy, wanting to make these all white neighborhoods, and you see what I'm saying? It just gets to the point where so many people are talking about division and dividing. There's so much division. There is so much division. And one side is this, and the other side is that, and the other side is the other. And it doesn't make any sense. And we're all sitting here fighting each other when we should be learning from each other. This is Juneteenth weekend. You know what I'm saying? We came a long way, black people. We sure did. And I don't think at this point there's nobody really in this country that could really do us the way that they really want to do us, because we're too resilient. But we let them do it to us. We let these people come to us. I'm not saying go out and be hostile in your neighborhood to these businesses, but get your respect. And I'm not talking about violently. You know what I'm saying? Command your respect through your stature. You know what I'm saying? Get your respect through proving these people wrong. You know what I'm saying? Yo, for real. I wouldn't be surprised if I see a lot of these shops start closing up shop and moving out of the neighborhoods, once we really start putting our foot in supporting our own. Like I'm seeing nail classes and people signing up to get nail classes. Yo, do that. Motherfucking right. Do that. You should have been doing that. You could be, look at these people. They living. These motherfuckers is caking off of us. And all it takes is for a few of us to go get a couple of nails, and we could be caking too, but not really caking like that, because our neighborhood, right? And this is the thing. The black dollar does not stay, once, twice, it don't, one cycle, two cycle, it don't stay in our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? And they help that along. By all the money we give them, they take back to their neighborhood, and all the money that we have, we go to other neighborhoods and we spend it. We don't put any money in any investment into our own areas. And now, with the boycotts of some of these services that are provided by people, by many different businesses that are, non-black owned businesses that feel like they feel. And I think it should stretch across the board. If you an Indian business and you shitting on black people, you shouldn't be in black neighborhoods doing business. Simple as that. And the boycott needs to extend to that. And then the boycott, I don't care who it is, even other black people, like the Africans. Some Africans got this whole anti-black American thing going. There's this whole thing going on with that. And that right there, that needs to be addressed too. If this is how you feel, motherfuckers, then you motherfuckers can bounce too. Simple as that. It's time to stop letting motherfuckers herb us the fuck out. Because we just get herbed. And that's out. That's played out. And I'm starting to see it, man. I'm starting to see so many people wake the fuck up and say, you know what? We ain't got to be out here banging in the street. We can do exactly what these motherfuckers do. I'm going to go open a motherfucking coffee shop. Look at that. Fuck banging in the streets. I met a guy, Robert's Barbecue in Hudson, Florida. Someplace, Port Richey, something like that. If you ever get a swing by, he don't really know me. I don't think he really remember who I am, but he said something to me that really kind of stuck with me. And he a young dude. I said, me and my wife went there and ate. I said, yo, dude, this shit is delicious, man. This shit is absolutely fantastic. I said, how did you get into this? He said, I used to sling dope in St. Petersburg. I used to be a dope boy, but I found out that I do this better. And this motherfucker got keys to the city in Port Richey, all kind of shit. Motherfucker found out that he sling barbecue better than he sling motherfucking packs. And it just turned his whole life around. All that stuff that we got, the fentanyl, everything that we're using to make, that's them. That's them giving it to us to corrupt our communities with. Something that they can use to, when we start figuring out that we can do business like they do business, even the YNs, even y'all young niggas out here, man. When you start figuring out that you can do business in your own community like they do business in their own communities, then that's when we start growing. But you know what I mean? Until we get there, it's just going to be more of the same. It's just going to be more manipulation. It's just going to be more another way to get us, another way to get our money, extract our money out of our pockets and into theirs and into their neighborhoods and into their schools, and while they leave us destitute and broke. What's it going to be? What the fuck is it going to be, y'all? I mean, me personally, I will eat Chinese food. I will go eat Chinese food. But my wife will tell you right now, because I've been in the restaurant business my whole life, if I get the slightest little bit of attitude, I don't give a fuck how much food is on the table. I will get up and leave that shit right there. I don't give a fuck. You're going to treat me with my motherfucking respect, or you're going to have to eat all this fucking food yourself. Simple, right off the bat. And it could be at the beginning. It could be right at the beginning. May I help you? No, bitch, you may not. You may not help me, bitch. Go back in the fucking kitchen. You help this motherfucker behind me, because you ain't going to talk to me like I'm less than, period. But I'm not going to go in there and, I'll just walk the fuck out. I don't have to be all vocal and loud, and I don't got to do none of that. I don't have to do none of that. No, I just, politely and sometimes firmly, no, I will not dine here with you. Period. Never mind. I've said that plenty of times. Never mind. We're walking out of here. Never mind. This is bullshit. A few times. A bunch of times. I'm not afraid to. You know what I'm saying? And nobody else should be. And you ain't got to get up and be loud. You don't have to be loud. Don't stay. Don't. And the thing about it is don't fight to stay. If a motherfucker doesn't want you in their establishment, walk the fuck out with your head held high and fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Why? Because there's plenty of places that will have you. There are plenty of places, and make you a list, make you a little fucking route, make you a little fucking black book of all the places that you know that ain't on this bullshit. Even if it's Chinese food, even if it's this other food, and you go down here to fucking Ming's and Ming is cool in the gang, go to Ming's. Go visit Ming, man, for real. If Ming, you walk in, yo, what's up, D? Yo, what's up, Ming? Go to Ming's. But if you walk in there and these motherfuckers is on some like bulletproof glass in you and fucking what you want, what you order, and nothing else, and just on man, don't spend your money in there. Don't spend your money in there. If you go in the beauty supply store and these motherfuckers is like, just like fucking mean monkey you, don't spend your money. I don't give a fuck how bad. Go get your hair braided, girl. Go get your regular little fucking, the little bit of hair you got. Go get it braided, or do a Jada Pinkett or something if you ain't got no hair or whatever. But don't give them the satisfaction. I hope that this shit is getting through to people. Don't give them the satisfaction, is what it becomes. Hold your head up. Retain your dignity. Stop selling yourself for imagery. That's all it is. Sitting down at honestly, everybody's with the nails. Oh, look at your nails. And sometimes I can't front the nails. It's cool. But really, all it is imagery. It's imagery. Optics. Just shit to look at. spend money on, because soon as one of them shits chip, then you back at that bitch. Oh, I got to get another full set. Da-da-da-da, so on and so forth. Now, how much is that shit? And some motherfuckers go every 2 weeks. It's crazy. The amount of money we spend on optics, imagery. I'm so blessed. I feel blessed because my wife is a natural beauty. She don't wear no makeup, never. Sometimes she be trying to wear a little bit of makeup. I'm like, girl, you need to just stop it. She got a clean face, no blemishes, no nothing. My wife is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But so many people out there on some optics. I need 4 or 5 different colors of hair, all of which got some fucked up chemical in it that comes straight from wherever the fuck it comes from over in other countries. And we put it in our hair. We sweat that. That shit sweats on top of our hair. And all them chemicals leach right into our fucking scalp. And then we have fucking thyroid issues, motherfucking brain tumors and all kinds of fucked up shit. Shit with your motherfucking ovaries and shit like that. Because you want purple hair that they sell down here at the little store where they don't give a fuck about you. Get your shit, you little black bitch, and get the fuck out my store. Is exactly how they look at you. So you have to determine. We all have to determine. You know what I'm saying? And I've already determined. I determined this fucking years ago. I don't go in places that don't support black people, period. I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't give a fuck. I've cut off shit that I absolutely love. Will never put another drop of that shit in my motherfucking mouth because they don't support black people. You know what I'm saying? So like it was a whole Timberland things. I used to wear Timberlands, but not the Timbs like, I used to wear like real rugged Timberlands, like, like hiking boot Timberlands, and actually have a bunch of different ones. You know what I'm saying? And when it was revealed that Timberlands it wasn't really meant for black people, oh yeah, I stopped buying them shits immediately and gave all the ones I had away. Goodbye. I don't need none of that shit. Goodbye. I used to love Snoop Dogg. I really did. I used to love the D.O. Dizzle. But this nigga revealed who he really was. Same thing with 50. I thought 50 could, 50 was a good, same thing. A bunch of these motherfuckers have revealed who the fuck they are. They really just don't like us either. They like that lifestyle more than they like us. And like I said, and just like, and I've always wanted to say this too, just like we have allies, they have allies too. Okay? Every group that hates us, they have allies too. All right? Motherfuckers walking amongst us, at the cookout because they could be at the cookout because that's your fucking cousin, but they still fucking, they Samboing out. Them niggas need to be checked too. Them niggas need to be boycotted as well. You know what I'm saying, cuz? Boycott that nigga. So, I'm getting long-winded, y'all, but I just wanted to talk about this for a few minutes, man. They're mad. They're upset because we have chosen to turn it on ourselves, and what that's going to do is that's just going to create economic collapse for them, and that's triggered panic mode. That's essentially what it has done. It has triggered a panic mode in that community, to say, well, and they'll be fine, and they will be fine, but they won't have the easy walk that they have always had in our communities. And we need to make that walk even harder. As a matter of fact, we need to make it impossible for anybody who has those sentiments. And I don't have it. And again, I do not have a problem with people who respect us, respect our culture, respect my people, respect our neighborhoods, respect our things. I don't have a problem with anybody who wants to come into my neighborhood with the necessary respect and admiration and willingness to learn and adapt and integrate into the neighborhood as opposed to trying to assimilate the neighborhood. Integration. Okay, you can come here and integrate into the society, and I don't have a problem with that. I will come and I will give you my money, and we'll shake hands, and I'll bring you a fucking Christmas card, whatever the fuck it's got to be. But if you, for any reason, and this is, I'm telling anybody listening to this podcast, I'm telling anybody listening to this podcast, you got issues with black people, stay your ass the fuck from around black people. And that's all it is. Simple as that. Stay your ass the fuck from around black people. You got a problem with black people, stay your ass the fuck from around black people. Don't come over here trying to get our money. Nothing. Stay your ass in your group if that's how you feel. Or go fuck with a different group. But don't come over here because you're going to get the coldest reception. Don't come over here trying to regulate and then call in the cops and all. You're going to get the coldest reception. Okay? And to all the black people listening, this is a call to action. This is and it's also a giant wake-up call. You know, Rick Chow, store owner. This guy owned his store in our neighborhood and took the life of one of our children, shot him in the back, and he that ought to tell you we need to have a store that our kids could go to and not have to deal with that. We need to have a store. We need to have more than one store. We need to have a bunch of stores. And I think there's enough of us now because back in the day, we couldn't get the loans. They wouldn't give us the loans. They gave them to the Asian people. They gave them to the Arabs. They gave them to the Indian people. They gave them to the Latin people. They didn't give them to us in our neighborhoods. They didn't want us to have shit. But we could get them now because we have things. You know what I'm saying? We have things in our community. We have things amongst ourselves. We have built wealth, and many of us have. You know, I'm not talking about just celebrities. I'm talking about in many other private sectors. Many of us have built substantial wealth. You know, I mean, I think there's even a few black billionaires in the country. You know what I mean? I'm not aside from the entertainment ones. You know what I'm saying? So there is resource. There are resources. We have to tap those resources. Those avenues have to be opened. Those connections need to be made in order for us to get our communities on par to where they should be. We already know that they're not going to invest shit in us. They're actively trying to divest in black people, actively trying to spread anti-blackness across. But we don't need to listen to that. They can be as anti-black as they ever wanted to be in their whole motherfucking life. Be anti-black, motherfuckers. We don't fucking care because we black people need to be pro-black. We need to be pro-black, pro-productivity. And we don't need to look in the rearview mirror. We don't need to turn around and look in the rearview mirror. I'm gonna use a line that was given to me by somebody I once called my friend. I ain't looking back, motherfucker. That's gonna do it for this week's episode of the Darren Harris Podcast, y'all. Thank you very much for joining me. Really, I do appreciate everybody listening to me, and I want to thank my parents for giving me the mouth and the brain to kind of sit here and think this stuff up and then talk about it. I want to thank my wife, you know, the beautiful Latina that she is. You know, we went and just celebrated last week. We celebrated last weekend Chicago's Puerto Rican Pride, and today we're going to go out and celebrate some Juneteenth, which is tomorrow. And we're just gonna enjoy it. We're gonna enjoy being around each other, enjoying different cultures, experiencing different things, learning, growing. We're just gonna go out and enjoy that. I want to thank my producer Jay Yandel, best friend in the world, white guy. And I joke with this man all the time. You're probably the whitest black content creator I've ever met in my life. And I love you, man. I really want to thank you. I want to thank Gentry Thomas for the platform, man. I do because Gentry, another white guy, gives me the platform to talk my shit, man. And sometimes it can be scathing. And I appreciate him not being, you know, overly critical or being that typical, you know, white person that would be offended or hurt and say, oh, we need to dial it back. No, he lets me cut loose, man. He lets me say what I have to say to get it off my chest. And he takes it in stride and he learns, and I do appreciate you for that, G. I really do, man. And last but not least, man, I'm thanking everybody. I want to thank, if you still listening to my voice right now, motherfucker, I fucking love you, man. I really do. If you still listening to my voice right now, I motherfucking love y'all, man. So I thank you for joining me every single week, or you know, maybe skipping a week. But I do want to say that I appreciate you, man. And it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. If you are black, if you are white, if you are Asian, Latin, Indian, I don't care what nationality, your ethnic, I don't give a fuck if you from Mars, the moon, or motherfucking Memphis. I don't give a fuck. I love you, man. You know what I mean? And I want you to go around and I want you to spread that out there. I want you to spread that out there. Now, I'm going to teach you some hard lessons from time to time. I'm going to say some harsh shit about everybody from time to time. But I just need everybody to know that I do it out of love, and I do it in order to change the world into a better place where we all have respect, where we all have kindness, and we can walk outside and I can wave at you and you don't mean mug me and look away. You wave back. You know, we talk and we stop and we ask questions. All right? So until next week, y'all, continue to grow. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.
You've been listening to the Darren Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DarrenHarris.com.